What's up, y'all? It's been a minute since I did the gospel podcast, and I don't really have no excuses. I got a bad reason. I might not even say a bad reason. I say, let's just say I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna try to do better. But what it was is I've been kind of fighting depression, man, because of not having a job. This is my second time doing this video today. And the first time I was doing it, I was leaving the drug testing place because your boy wouldn't got a new job. And speaking of that, sound like a good time to talk to God, man, to say this prayer. So y'all bow your head, man. Father, I come to you as humble as I know how, eyes closed and head bowed. I'd like to thank you for everything you've brought me through in these past few months. I thank you for not giving up on me, Father. I thank you for keeping me in a sound mind and body to the point where I know where to give my praise and I know where my blessings come from. I also thank you for protecting my family. Even though we all going through something right now, Father, I have faith that you're going to bring everybody else through it the way you brought me through it. I pray for everybody within the sound of my voice, their friends and family, as you keep a hedge of protection around us, Father. I pray for the ones who don't know better than to pray for themselves and the ones who just may be sidetracked. I ask that you give me the words to say to reach the people that you need me to reach. And I just continue to praise your name and thank you, Father, for all the many blessings you have given us and the blessing that we have coming. It's been a long road, and I know that you've been with me the whole time. I thank you for that. Amen. I'm gonna give y'all a little story. I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been going through here recently. It all started, I lost my job, and I'm pretty sure I talked to y'all about that, about the trailers coming apart when I was pulling doubles. It came apart on the yard, and I was let go. Due to that, it's been hard. I had a little money saved up, thanks to God, in some type of way that money has stretched and got me through these past 3 months. Kept the bills paid, kept my head above water. I'm getting short now. I think I got less than $500 in my bank account. That ain't gonna cover the bills for this month. Last week I had got excited because I had got a new job and I was going out to Chicago. So let me start there and tell y'all what happened. I had received a job offer from a company out of Chicago, which I had already been warned that the companies out of Chicago were mainly crooks. But when you need that bread, and you don't really want to hear that crook part. And you see everything that you're getting is a blessing and an opportunity. And it is. But sometimes it don't turn out the way we want it to. God is trying to open our eyes and show us something, or giving us time to get our mind right, or whatever the case may be. All things work out the way God wanted to. So I had been warned about these Chicago companies, about them being crooks, and I had even seen it for myself. The first time I went to work in Chicago, I ended up with a company that would never give me all my money when it was time to get paid. I ended up being let go from that job because I had amassed an amount of money that they supposed to pay me, because I had got stuck in Miami for a couple weeks, and they had to pay me for like $200 a day for every day I was down there. That money added up quick. And when it was time for them to pay me, it was almost $5,000. They gave me like $1,500 of it. And we argued back and forth. Well, when I got back close to Chicago, they told me to come on back to home base. where they informed me that they needed to work on my truck. So I might as well go home for about a week, 2 weeks or whatever it was while they worked on the truck, and they called me back. I knew right then that it was some bull crap because of the way they were saying it. We had a rental truck from Penske, and they saying it had to be worked on in Chicago. Well, this truck didn't come from Chicago. It came from Florida. It was a rental. It could be worked on at any Penske place. And not only that, but Penske fixed their own trucks, and they will give you a different truck while they work on the one they're working on. It's like you will never see that truck again. It might not even get fixed. They might scrap it. That's why they give you another truck to go and keep working on. That's why you do business with Penske, so you always have a truck. I don't know if this company knew it or not, but the last job I worked for before I worked for them was Penske. So I pretty much knew the ins and outs. So I came back home, and without waiting, I started looking for another job. Let's fast forward up to this. The way things work is in the trucking company, usually when you're working out of town or out of state and you're getting started, they'll fly you up a train or a bus or whatever they do. And, excuse me. Excuse me. Once you get there, they'll put you up in a hotel. The next day, they will bring you from that hotel to the company. You do your orientation, you do your road test, and you hit the road. Excuse me. Trying to burp this stuff up, but I got the hiccups for some reason. Well, this company, what they did was they flew me up at 9 something in the morning. By 10 something, I was at the company. They sat me down, ignored me. I filled out 2 pieces of paper that took me maybe about 3 minutes. Then I sat there about 2 hours waiting on dude. He kept coming by, man, I'm gonna come get you in a minute. I'm gonna come get you in a minute. I'm gonna come get you in a minute. All the minutes turned out to be almost 2 hours. First red flag is we walked out the door, and instead of him telling me to do my pre-trip or whatever, he just told me, hey, you're going to be taking that truck, grab that truck, and hook it up to that trailer. You're going to be taking that trailer over there. I'm going to go around back while you do that. So I'm like, okay. I got in the truck. I started it up. I drove it over to the trailer, backed up under the trailer. I did a tug test to see if it was going to remain locked to the trailer. It didn't. So I jumped out with my phone. I get in there with my light on. I look under the truck. Kingpin looked locked, but it's not. I tried to pull it again, and that's when I found it wasn't locked. This time I get back out and I'm looking. While I'm looking, I hear a horn coming from inside the truck. Let me know he back in, so I hop back in the truck. He tell me back under the truck. I back under the truck. He tell me do a tug test. I do a tug test. It's still not locked. This is my 3rd time pulling away from this trailer that's supposed to be locked to this truck. So we both jump out. He look under. He's like, man, I think you broke the 5th wheel backing up too hard. Broke the 5th wheel backing up too hard. Never heard of that in my life, and I've been driving trucks for a few years. I done bagged up under trucks because it's too low, and I done had instructors do it, and co-workers do it, and bosses do it, and I ain't never seen me or nobody else break a 5th wheel backing up too hard. So he like, yeah, man, I think you broke the 5th wheel backing up too hard. I ain't gonna be able to do your road test. Yeah, we ain't gonna be able to hire you. I'm like, huh? So he walked me back in the building and set me back in the break room. I'm thinking somebody needs to come out here and talk to me about what our options are, what the next step is, or whatever. And a couple hours go by and I don't hear from nobody. So as this time go by and I don't hear from nobody, I'm like, hold up, something ain't right. I finally get a call from the recruiter that recruited me and brought me to Chicago and all this. And he's like, hey, man, what's going on? And I'm like, not too good. He like, what, you failed your road test? I'm like, man, I haven't even taken a road test. Dude is trying to say I broke the 5th wheel on the back of the truck, so I can't take a road test. Dude says automatically, okay. So I'm like, hold on, okay, like, is y'all, what's the next step? Is y'all gonna help me get home, or what we gonna do? And he was like, oh no. Oh, what you mean no? He like, no, you failed the road test. Get yourself home. People talking about the old damn Chicago-based companies. So, I'm disappointed in myself. I'm heartbroken. I'm ready to cry. I called my mama. All right, man, bad news. These folks did this and said this, and it's going down like this. So I finally buy me a plane ticket and Uber on back to the airport. Come on back to Little Rock. Like, man, I woke up in Little Rock this morning. I could have just stayed at home and saved me some money. Saved me a few hundred. I get back home, man, get back to my routine, making sure that I do me at least 2 applications before I get out to bed in the morning. Throughout the day, I might put in 5 or 6 more, but I try to do 2 before I even get out to bed. Answer phone calls from jobs that I didn't apply to, and trying to get everything in order. So that's what I've been doing for the past week. The day before yesterday, I get a call from a guy named Brian. He's like, look, I found your application on Indeed. Seemed like you'd be a good candidate. Do you want to fill out the application? I was like, yeah. He didn't give me a whole lot of information, but he seemed nice. Jolly dude. I could tell he was a big white dude. Older. So I talked to him. Everything sounded good. I get the application, and it's long. They want 10 years of work history, and I got to fill all this out by hand over the phone. I hate doing this because I like doing the Intel apps where I already have my information. I don't have to go and retype it all up. Well, I started to, and I gave up. I ain't gonna lie. That next morning, he called me like, man, this is Brian. I talked to you yesterday, and did you ever get that? I said, can you send it back to me? I think I missed it yesterday, so he sent it back. I filled it out all the way. I had some more stuff to do. I had to go fill it. I had to go to this temp agency yesterday. So I told myself that when I get back from the temp agency, I'm going to go ahead and fill it out, which I did. This morning, the woman called me from the company and was like, hey, we need to get some information done that your social security number, you didn't put enough numbers down. So she read it to me, and I read it back off, and she was like, okay, that's what we're missing, 0. She said, well, I'm going to get this all in the computer. If it's all good, I'm going to send you an email about a drug test. Your clearinghouse, not a drug test, but your clearinghouse, which is all my past drug tests to see if I've ever failed a drug test or refused to take one or had to go to type in the substance abuse program, which they call SAP, substance abuse programs. I'm knowing I'm all good on that, so I'm like, big. So she checked everything I guess cleared. She hit me with the email for the drug test and stuff. I responded to that, gave them consent to go in there and look around. They did that. I got a call from dude. He was like, hey, everything good, everything check out. I want to offer you the position. Next thing we need you to do is come down here and get this paperwork, go get drug tested, and everything will be a go after that. I'm like, big, because I know that I'm, with the grace of God, drug free for over a year now. Working on a year and a half. That's unbelievable. I ain't not smoked a blunt in over a year, almost a year and a half. So I ain't had no worries about that. I got up, ran down to the place in Little Rock, talked to him for a while, got the paperwork, went and took my drug test. Before I left, he explained everything to me. He told me, look, when do you want to start? As soon as possible. I got bills coming up as soon as possible, ASAP. He's like, okay, well, when do you want to do your orientation? When is your next orientation? He said, I can get you in here Monday. No, he said, I can get you in here Friday, but it'll just be me and you. Cool. I don't need nobody else to hold my hand to come in here and talk to you. You bring you the paperwork I need. I might get a little nervous when it's time to do the road test, but everything I've been through is going to just be, you know what I'm saying, something for me to learn from and take it with me on the next position and do better. So, I plan on doing that. I'll be there Friday at 8:30 in the morning with everything I need to bring. And this is some of the things that I say, God, God, no. The first job that I almost got in Chicago came with no sign-on bonus. It was a set amount. You drive for that amount. You get that amount in your paycheck, and you got nothing else to look forward to. You got to buy your own stuff for the truck, which means you're probably gonna be out of this stuff when you come out the truck. Like, I've had to leave a microwave in the truck. I've had to leave a TV in the truck. I've had to leave a microwave and a refrigerator in the truck. I've had to leave weights in the truck. All this stuff. This truck that I'm gonna get is gonna come with its own microwave. It's gonna come with its own refrigerator, so I don't have to buy none of that stuff. I got my own TV to put in there already. But that's not the blessing. That's mediocre. I feel like the blessing came when he asked me. He said, "Well, did they tell you about the money yet?" And I said, "Yeah, he did. I think it's 55 cents a mile. And if I do 10,000 miles in a month, they'll bump it up to 60. An extra 5 cents a mile for every mile I did in a month if I reached the 10,000 miles." He said, "Sorta. Let me explain to you." He said, "Well, you're gonna get $1,500, 1150 signing bonus, which is $1,150 just to sign on." And he said, "To break down like this: your first paycheck, we're gonna give you an extra 150. After a month, you get another 500. After another month, after that, you're gonna get the last 500. So that's 1150." I'm like, "Okay, that's all right. It ain't nothing major." But he was like, "We also do a 3-month retention bonus quarterly. So every 3 months that you are with us, we give you $500. So after your 90th day, we will give you 500. You do another 90 days, you get another 500. He said that don't stop. That goes on the duration of you working with us. Every 3 months, you will get $500 bonus." He said, that's no, you don't have to meet any qualifications. The only qualification is staying on the job. He said, now with the 10,000 miles, what you have to do is you have to hit that 10,000 mile mark in a month, not too hard. You have to not have any wrecks, not have any DOT write-ups. That's normal. Like, that's nothing above and beyond the call of duty. That's normal. Not having wrecks and not having DOT write-ups. It's so normal that I have never had a DOT write-up. I had a ticket. I've had a warning. Never had a DOT write-up. I've had that one accident. And from my experience, the accidents, you don't have a job no more, so why would you even be worried about the bonus for 10,000 miles? If you got it, you're going to get it, and then you're going to lose your job. If you don't have it, well, you ain't going to get it because you're going to lose your job and you had a wreck. But that's neither here nor there because we're not going that route. It was something else with money. I think every 3 months you get a penny raise until you top out at 65 or 70 cent a mile. A mile. Either way it go, man. It was just all positive, all good. It was all incentivized. Things, and it's not going to be 6 months down the line. It's going to be starting with this first paycheck. And then 3 paychecks later, I'm going to get another $500. Man, we can all use $500 every 3 months. You see what I'm saying? Not to mention, well, the first month the money going to come in because it's going to be the first 3 months. But like my mama said, man, quit counting all that money up and do the job. So that's what we're going to do. But I feel like God had something better for me when he closed that door. like always, he don't close one door without opening the next door. So I can look and I can see how much better this door is than the last door that I felt like was closed on me. And I can tell y'all one more time that God works. God is who he say he is. He do what he say he gonna do. And sometimes you have to slow down and be patient and let him finish getting your blessings ready. Because you want right now. And he's saying, hold on, let me put these sprinkles on it. And then you like, all right, God, he got the sprinkles on it, let me get it. And you like, hold on, let me put the chocolate syrup on it. And you like, okay. Well, now I got the chocolate syrup on it, can I get it? Say, man, if you don't chill out, let me put this cherry on top of this here. And then you get it and you like, whoa. I thought we was getting ice cream. But this got the cherries on top with the sprinkles and the chocolate sauce and banana. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, man, you have to slow your roll and let God finish getting that ice cream ready for you. And as I tell y'all, man, sometimes he ain't getting it ready for you. Sometimes he getting it ready for the people who gonna see you with it. You never know. It might be another child on the other side over there, his mama telling him, hey man, won't you just do right? And he don't have no reason to do right. Then he see you walk by with this big old banana split and the cherries and the sprinkles and you know what I'm saying, 2-3 different types of ice cream. And his mama say, look, you want one of them? And he like, yup. But you gotta do right. And he like, okay. When the beauty just walk by with the old vanilla cone, she like, you want one of them? He'd be like, man, ain't nobody tripping about that. You got vanilla cones at the house. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you gonna give me ice cream anyway. No, sometimes God gotta cut the beard up and line the hair up and get the praise right and make sure the shoes match the t-shirt. Get you all the way in the game because it's gonna be somebody at that party you fit to go to that need to see you clean as you can be. And God had to get you ready. He needed to see you with all your blessings on. With everything God can do. God needs you to be that example. So when you step out the house, people say, whoa. Well, how you do it? God. God was the blessing. You got to praise God. You got to give God the praise. You got to give God the thanks. You got to wake up and tell God, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for putting this breath in my body. Thank you for giving me another hard time so I can wake up a little bit stronger today than I was yesterday. Thank you for giving me something to overcome so I can get on this internet and tell the world how good you are to me. Because there was a point in time where I didn't realize it. Why I woke up every day and I ain't thank God not then one of them days out the week, then one of them days out the month, then one of them days out the year. I took it for granted every day. For a long time, a lot of years, that he was waking me up. I took for granted a long time, a lot of years, that God was blessing me. That God was favoring me. That God had a bigger plan for me. And now I'm like, bring it on. If it's a hard time, I know one thing about it. It ain't going to last forever. Just know that when I come over the other side, I'm going to tell everybody about it. I'm going to stop and say, y'all, thank God. Look what God did. Look what I just made it through. Not to mention that, look at the smile God gave me. Y'all remember I ain't had one of them. God make it work out, man. God gonna work it out, man. Well, put your trust in him. Put your faith in him. Or should I say, trust on God. Lean on God. Depend on God. Wait on God. On God. We'll see y'all next time.